Okay, let's continue. Part 4, investigation. The crime scene. Now that we have permission in the form of the representation paper from Gina. Here we are again, at the scene of the crime. Now to thrust these representation papers in Gregson's face and see what he makes of them. Hello again, Inspector. Do you have a minute, please? What's it now? You should go and get some rest.
Here you are, Gregsy. Here are the representation papers.
Your ladyship! How? Oh my god, Gregson. I don't believe it! How the devil did you get that stubborn little ragabash? Ragabash? To sign that! I salute you. That is good work, that is.
I can see you've been very busy here as well. How about some tea? It's a special blend designed to relieve fatigue.
Lovely. Let's see now. Yes, yes. I hardly feel tired at all. I'm fit as a fiddle, your ladyship. Would it be alright if we investigated the scene of the crime, though? Do as you please. You know where it happened? That door behind the counter. Yes, the storeroom, where I discovered Mr. Windybank and Gina. Right, well, I'll be getting back to business then. Will you be investigating the storeroom as well, Inspector? If I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before long. Can't afford to spend too much time on it. But there are so many articles to go through, it's taking forever. Even with the lads working around the clock. Which is a problem, because there's another case the yard needs to investigate urgently. That must be what Lloyd Strongheart meant by far more serious matters before. Hey Bryce, how you doing? So what I'm saying is, don't get under my feet, sunshine.
Come then, let us not waste any time.
Suffering heat wave? Yeah, it's heckin' hot. Cat waking up?
Behind that door is the storeroom, isn't it? That's what Gracie said.
Yes, and that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night. Through the little window in the door. Mr. Windybank, face down on the floor, with Gina beside him.
As the accused legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruhodo.
Cat is so needy she'll climb up to a second floor window to get to you. God damn.
We must make a thorough investigation.
Yes, of course. And we will. Behind that door, that's the real scene of the crime.
Oh, don't worry. If there are clues in there, I'll find them.
Been typho when you heard scratching near below your window. Ugh.
Poor Iris. She's climbed her completely. Iris is bound to find this difficult. After all, Mr. Windybank's life was taken in this very room, only last night.
Ah! Avert your eyes, your ladyship. Wait, Inspector! What is it now, Sunshine? You took one look at me and tried to run away! You think a Scotland Yard inspector would run away from a jumped-up little defense lawyer, do you? I know you would run away from, though. Well... I've never seen her ladyship looking like that before, is the thing. I didn't know what to say to her. So you weren't running away from me, you're running away from a 10-year-old.
I'm afraid this is all a little too much for young Iris.
Excuse me.
Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector.
Eh? Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship.
I mean, at least you're not.
Oh my god! What? Gregson! What the fuck?
I mean, at least you're not dead, are you? Why would you say that to a 10-year-old looking at a crime scene of murder?
And then Gregson got a bad review in the newspaper. Nah, and then they gave him shit in the next Sherlock Holmes novel for everyone to read about. Oh man. I don't think that went very well. Why? Look, I'm in the middle of investigation here, Sunshine. And I told you not to get under my feet.
And we have investigating to do ourselves. Yes. I'd like to hear more of what the socially inept inspector has to say. Oh, Hurley. And inquire into how Mr. Sholmes' operation is going.
So they said those were published in a newspaper? Was it? Oh yeah.
So Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here?
Shaw, you've got eyes, have you? Or haven't you? Use them! It is what it looks like, nothing more, nothing less.
Iris, could you lend me a hand? So, Gregsy, what do you make of the crime scene here?
Oh yes, your ladyship, do allow me to humbly explain. Last night, shortly after the hour, 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the scene. The one and only door to this room was found locked from the inside.
So it was locked from the inside. The lock appears to be broken now, though. Was that the police officers doing?
Quite right, ma'am, quite right. We took the liberty of smashing the door in as humbly as possible.
Oh.
As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor, thus-wise. Next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutted child. Wow!
Are you talking about Ginny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector.
Miss Lestrade, the hapless girl, was curled up on the floor, dead to the world. She's still alive, you know.
Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious.
I'm afraid to say she had the gun that was used in her hand.
No!
Presumably it's the gun that's still down there on the floor right now. Oh, in our pocket we found the key to the door as well.
What?
Sorry, what? The key to the storeroom?
So, and you say the storeroom had been locked from the inside, Inspector?
Oh, correct. All of which leaves her ladyship's friend in something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid. Obviously, my personal opinion is that it's all some sort of misunderstanding. Of course it is, Inspector, of course it is. So biased.
Gregsy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright? Is he?
Oh, well, the thing is,
Don't mince your words, Inspector, please! You, you don't mean to say that Mr. Shelves is...
No, the operation's done and dusted. It's just that, well...
Out with it!
Yes, ma'am. They use something called the general anesthetic. It's the latest thing. Renders the whole body insensitive. Whole body anesthetized? Is that even possible? Well, it means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep.
Goodness. In the Empire of Japan, we could just manage to provide laughing gas for tooth extraction.
Well, the trouble is the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing, if you follow my meaning. They couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for him to nod off, or so I hear. And now that the op's finally finished, they can't get him to wake up, apparently.
Oh my!
Is he gonna come in a later case? I mean, this is the final case of the first game, case 5. Unless it's like a secret case 6, which, no, probably not. But yeah, maybe the anesthetic or some other stuff that was discussed earlier, which I probably forgot about already from last night, will probably come up again during the trial. Because during the first 3 investigation bits, they gave you a lot of extra information, extra detailed information, and it's just like, yeah, it's 5 cases. But yeah, 2 games, because this is, 5 is normal for Ace Attorney games. I was like, Bretsu. But yeah, this is the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, as in the first game and second game. And the next one will be, I forget the subtitle of the next game. But yeah, that'd also be another 5-ish cases, I think. And to be fair, like, there's a lot of, like, the cases take a lot of time. From when I checked on my Steam stats, I already clocked in about 32 hours in this game. Resolve was the next name. No one knows if it's the anesthetic still in the system, or if the bloke's just plain exhausted. But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch until he comes around again.
Early.
The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I should get word to you. What a surprise, even in matters of life and death, Mr. Jones has to do things his way. Look at all these articles that have been deposited. The room is stuffed full of them.
I can't believe how many there are. A bicycle, gramophone, musical instruments, even some enormous paintings. Look!
Pieces of different people's lives, quietly gathering dust here together. There's something very peaceful about the atmosphere in here. Or at least there would be if not for the chalk outline on the floor and the policemen shuffling around. Not much I can do about that, sunshine. Out of all the articles in the storeroom, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked.
Ah!
What is that? Oh, the manuscript?
That's the box file that my manuscript was being kept in. Oh!
It's Iris' unpublished story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Surely that's not all this, well, all of this.
Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, it sold it. Without telling you. We must check inside the box at once. Yes. Ah! It was there. Iris' story was there.
Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris?
Yes. I mean, of course I believe Hurley when he said he deposited it here, but still. It's a relief to actually see it.
Really? Because that's not a very well-hidden frown. Oh my god. The Hound of the Baskervilles. How does the Saddles not know the exact title of this unpublished story? I suppose I'll just have to wait until she's ready to explain it to me.
I'm so sorry.
They can't really let me look any further into that, huh? Well, only 2 things left to investigate. This is a revolver. A real one.
And quite possibly the murder weapon used to take Mr. Windybank's life. What's the matter, Susie? You and Runa look like you're about to faint. Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh.
And I've had issues with guns in the past. But anyway, we saw Mr. Windybank with us yesterday, didn't we? Okay, before they even show it to me, let me guess. The revolver has been unfired with only 1 round in the chamber. And that'll be the main thing to center our argument around, was from Mr. Windybank's word himself. However that much, or however that holds up in court, I don't know. And say he always kept his revolver with 1 round in it. 1 for himself if he messed up. So that means someone else did the deed. Can they tell it's not been fired? I would imagine they don't have the they don't have the technology to detect traces of gunpowder or all that. Or something like that, I don't know. Gunpowder in a barrel, maybe? I don't think they have, like, such deep analytical, like, technology yet with crime scene investigations. Unless, like, Iris can conjure up something, being an inventor and all that. It's like, oh, these special goggles let me see anything. Just like Mr. Sholmes's. Maybe.
I shall have to take my own life.
It must be the same gun. And last night, when I looked through the spy hole in the door to the storeroom here, that was the same gun I saw in Gina's hand.
Mr. Windyback told us that he only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he? Well, it's empty now. The one and only bullet he had in his gun has been fired.
Well, there goes that. So we can be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from this revolver. Well, there goes that theory. Damn. The police have marked the position of the body with a chalk outline.
Poor Mr. Windybank. He was a nice old man.
Well, it was shot just once, through the heart. Most likely the fellow died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing.
I may well be able to help with that. What? There's nothing like the sight of blood to get the blood pumping, is there, Runa?
I have a feeling I'm not as bloody-minded as you, Iris.
I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold. There you have it, you see. When it comes to blood, we're all different types.
One big detail is how did Gina end up unconscious? Yeah, we'll have to find that out. Or wait, we'd have to ask her directly, like, in that room, what was the last thing you remember and felt? Yes, what a scientific observation. Obviously it was the bicycle. Bicycles are lethal weapons.
So you need this.
Oh no. Wait, what's that scary looking thing?
Hurley and I haven't actually come up with a name for it yet. but as soon as you see it in action, you'll understand what it does. Watch!
Oh. Oh, the color of the bloodstain changed!
There! Does it make sense now?
Yes, I think I'm starting to understand.
Good. It works on the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see. Yes, how wonderful. The chemical it fires combines with the blood and makes it change color. So you can identify whose blood it is that you're looking at in a flash. Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris. Isn't it, isn't it? I bet Ginny would say it's bleeding great.
So, whose blood are we looking at then?
That must be Mr. Windybag's blood.
Yes, that's where he was shot, so can't be any question of that.
This could turn out to be a very valuable clue. We must simply make a note of it. Let's keep testing and add the results of any other blood analysis to a portfolio. As long as I have Regent left, of course.
Iris?
Don't worry, I'm alright. But we must find the true culprit. Yes, absolutely.
I think I'm done with this room. Yep. Oh, well, I went too far down. There's the article ledger here, and Mr. Windybank's notes, and... Huh? What's this? Looks as though someone left a little photographic print behind.
Oh, look on the back. There's some writing. Is there? Ooh, show us. Show us, Susie. Show us.
The 15th February, 10:30 p.m. Article deposited 1 gentleman's overcoat. Loan amount paid £1. Redemption deadline April 15. So, somebody deposited another thing 1 hour and a half. Oh no, wait, that's 13th of February. This one's the 15th. Gentleman's overcoat pawned for £1. One small box.
Yes, this must be the ticket for the overcoat that Ginny redeemed yesterday.
And is still wearing, which belonged to McGilden. I would never have expected the redemption ticket to be handwritten on the back of a photograph, though.
It seems Mr. Winnybag just used whatever piece of paper he happened to have on hand.
But this photograph of a cat looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen this exact picture somewhere before recently.
Oh, yes, you're right. Very recently. It's the same as the one Ginny gave us earlier.
Oh, of course! I was forgetting that she gave us that print.
Well, what are you waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo? Get it out.
Alright! Let the cogs turn.
Yes, they're exactly the same.
Wait a second. They're shifted ever so differently for the stereoscope. You can tell there's a very minor difference. Oh my god, we're actually gonna use the stereoscope, dude.
I got it. These two photographs hide an amazing secret.
A secret? What does she mean?
You must tell us, Iris, at once. You really want to know?
Yes, we need you to tell us all you know about this pair of photographs. So, Iris, about these two photographic prints. The one we found here in Mr. Winniebake's counter, and the one Gina gave us before. What is this amazing secret you mentioned that's hidden between these two identical prints?
Actually, that's not quite right.
Sorry?
If you look carefully, the two prints aren't the same. Not exactly.
They're not!
Have another look at them now. Can you see that they're just slightly different from each other?
I think so. It's very subtle though.
But what's the reason for the subtle difference between the two prints? Ah, well, it's because they're a set, you see.
No, I don't,
This pair of photographs is meant to be used in a stereoscope. Everyone in London is raving about them at the moment.
Ah, a stereoscope. I don't feel as though I've heard that word before recently.
Oh, yes! That's what Mr. Sholmes showed us yesterday. You see, there it is. It's just over there.
Ah, yes, of course. That magical machine that makes pictures almost look real enough to touch.
Well, actually, it's quite possible to see the same depth in pictures even without one of those contraptions.
What? Really?
You know how a pair of 5 photographic prints can appear to have any depth in the first place? No, I have no idea. Oh, wonderful, then I'll be able to tell you.
She's over the moon, bless her. We let her explain though. We really need to carry on investigating the scene.
I, for one, simply have to know. Have you ever considered, Runa, how our eyes see depth in the world around us?
Well, I just opened them, and it works.
But the reason it works is because we have 2 eyes.
2 eyes? Shocking.
If you try closing just one eye at a time, I think you'll see straight away. What you see with your left eye, and what you see with your right eye are ever so slightly different. You get a different view with each eye. Yes, the position of objects seem to shift slightly. Exactly. And in your head, your brain uses that shift to estimate depth as it merges the 2 views into one. That's how we can sense depth in everything we see.
My brain really is amazing, isn't it? It does so much without telling me.
Ah, I think I see. So the pair of photographs consists of a left eye view and a right eye view, right? Oh, well done, Susie, you're so quick.
So, if you can persuade your brain to merge the 2 pictures together in your head, you'll be able to see depth in these prints.
Yes, Runo, you're beginning to understand.
And the stereoscope's function is to act as your brain and allow you to do just that.
Yes, but as long as you have the 2 images, 2 eyes and 1 brain, you can actually do it yourself without needing a stereoscope at all.
You can? Really?
Let's try it.
Oh my god. I don't know why I'm so sleepy right now.
Let's try it. Let's see if you can view this pair of prints without the help of a stereoscope. Oh yes, I'm dying to have a go.
Susato-san really does love this kind of thing.
You need to be able to cross your eyes. That's the main thing. Can you both do that?
Cross my eyes? I think I can.
Watch me, and see if you can copy.
Yeah, she looks funny.
Make your eyes do this. Alright, let me try. Are you ready, Mr. Naruto?
Oh, this looks so dumb.
There. How's that? Wonderful. Now it's your turn, Runo. The trick is to concentrate on looking at the bridge of your nose with both eyes at the same time.
Not exactly an easy task when two people are staring at you cross-eyed.
Alright, that's enough practice. Now let's try looking at the prints. Start by staring at one point, and slowly crossing your eyes. You should see two overlapping images like this. You try it now, Runo.
I'm just gonna have to give it a try, I suppose.
The print split into two images for you. Now the next step is to put the pair of prints side by side like this, and then try crossing your eyes again. The prints should slowly merge together until they form a new single image in the center. Oh yes! Mr. Naruto, it works! I can see it in the middle now! It looks so real! I could look at it all day!
Oh my gosh, she looks so derpy. Hey, Bachi. I wouldn't advise that. Your eyes might start to hurt.
Your turn, Runo. Pretend you're looking through the two pictures, and slowly cross your eyes. And keep adjusting the position of your eyes until the two images overlap exactly in the middle.
Like this, is it? Remember this was originally on the 3DS? Oh yeah! Wait, oh, does that mean you had to like... Sorry. Does that mean they had to have you play with the 3D slider? Dude, that's pretty funny. You slide it up and then you get that response for it being cross-eyed. Although, can it detect whether or not you have 3D mode on or off? I think so. Oh, someone actually using... Oh, I get why they skipped over it, because you're actually supposed to use the 3DS, but then there's no way to actually convey that on PC. So that's why it keeps skipping over our segments versus Susato's side of things. Oh. Yeah, I like with how with some Nintendo games they actually make some pretty funny, clever uses of like their the devices mechanics. Like with what was it? I think it was Phantom Hourglass or Spirit Tracks. I don't remember. But you had to like put down a print onto your book, and you had to do that by closing your DS and put in standby mode, and then flip it back up for the act of printing something onto your touch screen. I thought that like stuff like that is always really cool. Hell, like the oh my god, Spirit Tracks had them. There's like a certain moment in 999. I know the Zero Escape collection with the first two games is out on like PC and everything. But it like if anyone just wants to take the time or maybe haven't seen it yet, get the one on DS. Like you'll be missing out on the high res and the voice acting, but the thing it does in the very finale. Oh my god, it's really simple with the gimmick they used, but oh my god, given the high emotional tensions during that finale, oh my god, I was losing my mind. Phantom Hourglass. Phantom Hourglass did that? Added for a map though, which you think I mean? Probably, because I never played through much of Spirit Tracks. I finished Phantom Hourglass though.
Well, I don't know who discovered it, but it really is quite extraordinary. So what do you think of these stereoscopic prints then, Runo?
They're certainly amazing, but it isn't easy to get the knack of viewing them properly. You never beat Spirit Tracks due to the last pan food section? I don't remember where I stopped at. How far did I get? I think the latest zone that I stopped at in Spirit Tracks was when you had to go through that very dense forest into like some huge, vast, snowy area on the northwestern region, I think, of the general world. I think that's where I got to and kind of stopped, and that's where I just lost all interest in the game. You got stuck on the ending of Spirit Tracks? Same thing with Final Hourglass too? Huh. I'm kind of surprised that I managed to finish Phantom Hourglass as well. I don't know. Can never finish the endings. Too hard for young you. Behind your favorite list of Zelda representations. But yeah, like, despite what was it? I never really, despite finishing Twilight Princess and Phantom Hourglass and stuff, never really much of a fan of the Zelda series overall. I don't know. Something about it that when I look at the rest of the games, I don't know, I don't really feel that excited about playing them. I don't know. I never really got to grow up with the Zelda games, or much of the other main Nintendo stuff, with the exception of the Kirby games. Like, I have some Mario stuff here and there, but never really sunk a ton of hours into them. I played a bit of Mario Galaxy, but I beat the game with Mario, but never did the Luigi side, or 100% hit it with getting all the stars. I was just done. No, Galaxy was fun. Neither Phantom Hourglass or Spirit Tracks had a great story, though. In your opinion, Phantom Hourglass's ending was pretty garbage to you. I don't remember anything about Phantom Hourglass's story, so I can't really say anything. It's been... Oh god, I feel old. It's been so long since I beat that game.
No, some people find it easier than others. But that's why contraptions like this exist, for people who find it tricky. Oh, I recognize that. We saw one over there yesterday, didn't we? If I remember correctly, when you press this little knob here, then set the pair of photographs in this stand at the back, and... It's still amazing, even though I know roughly how it works now. Unlike Link's Awakening, they never hint or say that outright. Oh, that the ending was all a dream? Huh. Well, London seems to agree with you. Stereoscopes are quite popular at the moment. You can find one of those folding contraptions in lots of households in the capital currently. But these little machines are so affordable, surely there's no need to go around staring cross-eyed at pictures like you hate them.
You're only allowed one It Was All a Dream ending in a game series without it getting old. Link's Awakening did that ending type better.
But it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. Well, I think so in any case.
Stereoscopic pictures, I'd never seen them until yesterday. We certainly learned a lot about them, but I wonder if it's knowledge, that I'll ever actually need. Oh, they tell you it was a dream partway through the game, not the end. Oh. Oh, jeez.
Ah, look here. Oh yes, a bullet hole. And I can see the bullet still lodged in the wall.
Presumably Mr. Winnybing wasn't practicing with his revolver in his spare time.
Ah, well... Mr. Sholmes likes to practice in his drawing room whenever he can. He's very patriotic like that.
Sorry?
It's all there in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, you know. Isn't that right, Iris? Ah, did I write something like that? Partly in jest, perhaps. In jest?
So wait, did the Zelda games have some of the worst? No real effect on the greater series as a whole? Huh.
Well, he doesn't do it often. It's quite a dangerous pastime.
He doesn't do it often? He should even do it once!
I'll forget that for now, Runa. Let's examine this bullet.
What's that around the bullet hole? Is it blood? A suspicious red stain on the calendar. No shit! It's blood.
Aha! This is where I come in.
Oh, right. If the blood changes to the same color as the sample in the storeroom, we'll know that it's Mr. Windybank's blood.
Exactly. Here we go then.
Green? Mr. Sholmes was a lizard man all along! Oh my god!
It's completely different to the color that Mr. Windybank's blood, It's completely different to the color that Mr. Windybank's blood, turned in the analysis.
Final Hourglass did bring us line back at least. So wait, the DS Zeldas have no real connection to the rest? Nothing that happens in them really matters? Hyrule Warriors has better odds of mattering than the DS games? You can't help but imagine Iris' voice be the same for Veronica in Dragon Quest XI. I never played Dragon Quest XI, or any Dragon Quest for that matter. Despite how much of a classic it is, like, you know, the classic when it comes to JRPGs in general. I mainly just grew up with Final Fantasy, so I know pretty much nothing about Dragon Quest. That and, like, I know a lot of people will like it for this reason, but it's for this reason that kind of puts me off. It's with, I forget his name, but the artist's style for the characters. What's his name again? The guy who did worked on like the DBZ art and stuff, or something like that. Like that style. Toriyama. Yeah, Toriyama. Yeah. I really can't get behind Toriyama's style in the Dragon Quest games. I don't mind seeing it in Dragon Ball. For some reason, like seeing it anywhere else, for lack of a better word, doesn't sit right with me. I don't know. It's weird.
It just goes to show, things don't always go according to plan, do they? Nevertheless, we must add the sample to the results of the other blood analysis.
Toriyama's style is pretty weird to you? Oh yeah, wait, we need to look at the thing. Can't say he's not consistent though. Ah, there's that. Works better in Dragon Ball because his story rather than something he's just an artist for. Maybe? I'm not sure.
Listen, no. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's something rather troubling here.
I've noticed.
The red smear. The red smear, you mean?
Yes, it looks like blood, doesn't it? I wonder if Susanoo-san picked up on that. Well, in that case,
yes, we need Iris.
we should show this to her before we forget. Toriyama's memory, on the other hand.
Oh, that looks like blood.
Shoot it! I would say it's from a gloved finger. Certainly, or almost certainly, a glove made of leather.
Well, don't worry, Runa. You can leave the rest to me.
Purple. Look at that.
Yes, that's a color we haven't seen before, isn't it?
We all forget lunch from time to time. And how the earrings work.
We must simply add it to the portfolio of blood samples. It could be an important clue. Although, it would be nice to find out whose blood these different colors correspond to at some point.
Well, this particular stain of blood...
Oh, you've had an idea, haven't you? Do you know whose blood this is?
I think I do. Yes, I have an idea whose blood it is. Not from the color it turned, both a little deduction. So one... Oh, right.
That's right. I think it's clear. Iris, you know as well. You first, Runa. Who do you think it belongs to?
Alright, I believe this is the blood of... First fired Mason. Wait, let me look at it again. So the 15th at 10:30. Gentleman's overcoat. That would be... No, I wouldn't. Oh yeah, Gina, because she said her hands were covered in blood during the thing.
Oh my, you think this is Gina's blood?
Yes, it was Gina who brought the ticket here to Windybanks after all. Sometimes the simplest answer is the right one.
Oh, but Gina doesn't own any gloves at all.
Oh. Oh wait, was she not wearing gloves? Oh, never mind. Oh, okay, never mind. Who the blood came? Alright. I got the. I don't know why I got the question mixed up in my head after I read it. Don't mind me, I'm stupid. For some reason, I got it mixed up, thinking that like who put the blood on it, not whose blood it was. Don't mind me. You gotta have one mental blunder per session of Ace Attorney games. Rice-fired Mason? You don't sound very sure of yourself the way you trailed off there. Well, it was 2 months ago now, that case. Of course I never met the victim, so I'm struggling to remember his name. He was definitely thrice-fired, though. The victim of the omnibus case. Yes, his name was indeed Mr. Thrice-fired Mason. But that would mean this bloodstain was left on the ticket 2 months ago. Yes, I think it was. Gina brought the sticker here to Windybanks yesterday. I'm suggesting that bloodstain was already on it at the time. So it's a smear of blood from the time Mr. Mason was killed 2 months ago. Something else is coming back to me now. Mr. McGilded was also wearing leather gloves that night. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about my gloves now, was I? So I reached out to give the man a hand. It certainly does look like a leather glove thumbprint, this mark. But we know that Mr. McGilded had no injuries at the time anywhere in his body. From which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason. Mr. Naruhodo, you sound just like Mrs. Sholmes. Is that a good thing? Minus the quirky slip-ups, I suppose. Or I hope. Yes, I think you're right, Runa. Very well, let's make a note of this. I doubt there's any... Yeah, there's nothing really left here. Unless, any reason to show him this? Yeah, not really. Yeah, we'll go back outside. Probably check Baker Street itself. There might be something there from the thugs who ran away. Or not. Anything in the Chief Justice's place? Okay. Okay, hospital. He's still recovering. Ah, there we go. Unless I need to investigate every nook and cranny of the pawnbroker, but we'll find out later. I'm too lazy to look through every little bit. There's a few more days until we discover the winning number on the Grand Lotto tickets. Yeah, best of luck to everyone. Certainly hoping for at least a tier 2 prize for the 100k crystals. Gina doesn't appear to be here. I believe she must be in questioning at the moment. And the player base burns the game down from salt. So I mean like every year. Oh, but wait a minute. What is it, Iris? Well, if you examine the scene here carefully, there's another possibility, isn't there? Ginny could have slipped the key from the jailer when he wasn't looking and escaped. Oh my! Well, why would she do something like that? It will only make her situation worse! Calm down, Runa. I was only joking, of course. Oh, you had me worried there. I thought it was a great deduction. free Belial. Yeah, that would be good.
Yes, it must be your way with words, Iris. You're so wonderfully persuasive. Perhaps you don't fully understand the weight of the weight your words carry. Oh dear, I'm sorry. As well as a lighthearted, great detective is a contradiction in terms.
Well, in the same situation, I'm sure Mr. Sholmes would have just thrown his head back and guffawed.
I'm not entirely sure that's helpful, Mr. Naruto.
Well, anyway, looks like we won't be able to talk to Gina for a while. You should try to make progress with that investigation in the meantime.
Yes, come along then, Bruno. Come along, Susie.
Okay, yeah, I have a feeling we have to go back to the... Yeah.
That's a music box. Do you have them where you come from, Bruno?
Yes, but I've never seen one as large as this in Japan.
Oh, well, this will be a treat. Shall we have a listen? What do you think? Isn't it a pretty sound?
It's a beautiful sound, yes, but it's a little hard to enjoy when all the policemen in the room are giving you fierce looks.
Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Grigsy to have a word.
Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard. So wait, does aggravating seeing a setup for something and seeing Belial in there? Makes you look like you need him and don't have him? Do you need him for a setup? I mean, it's for min-maxing, like, sometimes depending on how close it is, you could get away with it. But Belial just kind of helps squeeze out the extra bit for consistency. As frustrating as it is. Or it can be.
That ledger that's open on the counter there really is enormous, isn't it?
It must be an awful lot of work to keep track of all these hundreds of items in pawn.
It's too much to think about. Better to sell it on and have a clear head if you ask me.
But clearly Mr. Wadybig was very careful when it came to articles in his care. Water really wants its supplemental too? The police are scouring every inch of this place, by the look of it. Instructions from the yard are to examine every article in the shop and every ledger and book of accounts. Every article? But that's a ridiculous amount of work, surely. Well, we've been hard at it ever since the shop was declared a crime scene in the early hours. We're sifting through it all in shifts at least, but still. We'll be working through the night, that's for sure. And even then, we'll have barely scratched the surface. A crime in the pawnbrokers. Must be every policeman's worst nightmare. It's every copper's worst nightmare, you know. A crime in a pawnbrokers.
These shelves are where the pawnbroker puts articles that have been forfeited on display for customers to buy.
Yes, it's really a strange, miscellany, ain't it? I mean, who would buy this horse statue, for example?
Well, sometimes you can find some real treasures among all the junk, you know. Are you alright, Bruno?
Oh, it's just, well, looks like a collection of useless junk as a whole, but when you pick on individual things, you can't help but wishing you owned them. Even that horse statue.
That's exactly how the pawnbroker works. They're very clever.
But yeah, I wonder what I'll do, like, I mean, like, it'll depend whether or not it happens, but I kind of wonder what would happen if I can get my hands on a free 5-star superlative or 100 moon weapon. Oh my god, I have no idea what I'd pick. I'd have a feeling it'd go to Herc, but at the same time, part of me feels like I might want to see if I can meme something up with Fire Herc. Especially gearing up for Guild Wars, although I'm not sure about the viability of that in Guild Wars, never mind, but I don't know. First things considered, what's my favorite element? Oh, that'd be Dark, but I already have my Sky Piercer. Unless, like, I want to get the Dark Harp or something. I remember people what was it? More of a proving ground weapon, not a Gilworth thing. Yeah, it's more for squeezing out the hugest amount of damage in a turn rather than quickly, given animations and all that. Isn't that strange contraption that lets you see pictures of things as if they're right in front of your eyes? Makes you think when Mr. Sholmes gleefully showed it to us yesterday, we were blissfully unaware that any of this was about to happen. It's a fun weapon, having it yourself. This officer has been staring intently at the wall since before we came in here. Shh! Keep it down! Oh, sorry. There's a major clue just here.
Really? Then we must tell Grigsby at once.
But as soon as I report it, that'll be it. I'll be stuck here even longer.
Stuck here? What do you mean?
I haven't been home in 2 days already. I need another constable to relieve me and take over my shift.
They really have a tough time, the British police. That doesn't stop us investigating though, does it?
No, I suppose not. I'm fairly sure it was the calendar he was peering at. Oh, we have to investigate this again? Green blood. It just seems wrong somehow.
Oh, there are all sorts of different colors. There are pretty pinks and purples too, you know? Like I said, everyone's blood is different.
The mature pig is a sky piercer though. Let you just do more with Lucha? Oh yeah. What are the Lucha setups that people do with do in the Animus raids or just light racing in general? Because every time I look at what was it? Every time I look at Animus raids, it's always light Lucha. I'm like, what's the setup here? I have no idea. I assume Sky Piercer for one thing, but I don't know about the rest. Grand John, Nehan, and you forget whoever the third was. Oh, I don't have Nehan, right. I wonder what color my blood will turn out. Actually, I don't want to know. I'm fairly sure this contraption was here yesterday as well. You don't have Nehan, so eh. Yeah, so far I'm trying to do my daily host for the Animus raid and just trying to womp on it if I have the opportunity. Because the good thing is there is no blue chest. And well, if you can't have any hope of what was it? If you don't have any hope of getting a MVP chest, just tag it, bring a Kaguya or something, and just pray. Or what was it? Let's see, it's like 60%, crew buff, that's 20%, so that's 72, 84. Yeah, you can just... That's like an 84% chance. Or hell. Actually, okay, wait, I'm curious. Don't mind me. So if you can get how many stacks off? Let me see. Oh, actually, if you can just get one level of bounty off, you can pretty much guarantee the random chest that has a potential to drop the Malice weapons. So yeah, you can just run Journey Drop, your crew buff obviously, at least one level of bounty to apply, and then just tag every raid as possible, or as much as you possibly can, I mean. You know, I really should do that. Because I really want to get those dark bows. Like, I think I have almost everyone that I need for a skill damage setup. But, yeah, we'll have to see. Oh, whoops, I didn't click back in. So, here we are, though I'm not too confident I can get it closed again.
Oh yes, that's a folding stereoscope.
Really? This is a stereoscope?
Mr. Sholmes showed us a picture yesterday that you were supposed to see in 3 dimensions.
But for that he used a great big contraption over there.
Ah, well, that's for use in public houses and places like that. It contains a carousel with all sorts of pictures inside. But this little thing is a much simpler design for use at home. There are special shops selling prints you can use in them. I have a little collection myself.
I wonder if I can make money. I wonder if I can make money out of these in Japan. It would be keeping my toilet sparkling clean anyway. Oh. Am I missing something? Have another go at viewing them as a stereoscopic image. Oh, right, whoops. Wait, and so the bows and the fists are pretty good? I'm not sure how I feel about the whole, increasing supplemental damage with, scaling enmity, the enmity scaling supplemental damage. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Oh man, I didn't think I'd hit it, but we're at that point where there's one particular thing I'm probably missing, and I can't figure out what. Just dark things. Oh, whoops. Too much effort to clean them out and change the water all the time. So probably not here. He's been dressing as a woman. He's quite stunning. Too much writing recently. Adventure of the Caddy Man. Uh... Okay, I don't know what else to really look for, so I'm just gonna see if I can present anything else and then just go with this.
Poor Ginny. This is all my fault, really. But she'll be alright, won't she? In court tomorrow, I mean. I'll defend her with everything I've got. So, she'll be alright, won't she? Am I that bad at instilling confidence? Oh, my manuscript.
Mr. Schoen said he deposited it at Windy Banks, at Windy Banks, and he had.
But it's so strange. What is it about this particular story? I worked so hard on it.
I would hardly say I can't publish it. I'm afraid I have no idea. All you can do is wait until he's ready to tell you, I suppose.
Oh, maybe. It's because Hurley isn't in it enough. Maybe I didn't give him enough good lines.
Yeah, maybe. Wish I could say that definitely isn't the reason, but I can't. The way you can identify differences in people's blood like this is amazing. You really are a genius, Iris.
I know, I am. If Hurley and I put our minds to it, we could really shake up Britain's chemists and alchemists. And you could shake up Japan's lawyers and judges, couldn't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, for sure, even if I don't intend to. Tales of Justice. Very impartial, I'm sure. When in doubt, badge. Where have I not looked, or who haven't I shown the right thing to yet? Sorry. Is that what I think it is? Your ladyship's latest.
Yes, my latest story. It's called The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Oh, a most fascinating title, your ladyship. Fascinating. And I don't suppose... Would there be any mention of my humble self in the tale this time?
Good question. I can't really remember. I see, I see. Well, why would you, your ladyship? I'll just await his publication with eager anticipation. You needn't worry, Inspector. I'm sure if you do appear, you wouldn't be doing anything particularly remarkable. You looking to be arrested, Sunshine? I didn't mean it like that. And even if I did, you wouldn't have bitten her ladyship's head off, would you? Nah, he's not gonna bother looking at the blood sample analysis. Am I supposed to investigate somewhere else now? So I've shown everyone everything in the shop in the main store in the main shop. And I don't think... Yeah. Nothing in here. Just leave face down on the floor, completely dead to the world. Oh, whoops, I never saw that. I wonder what these are. Do you have any idea, Iris? Oh, haven't you ever heard of crutches before? Let me explain. They're for people with leg injuries. To help them walk, you hold one under each arm, you see. Ah, right. I thought they were weapons of some sort. Well, I mean... I've seen some clever, like... action scenes with crutches. Why would there be weapons in a hospital? Well, maybe a fighter had been injured in a battle contest has been brought here along with his weapons. That's surprisingly plausible. The one-legged fighter. Okay. Yeah, I'm tired of reading. I just want to find progress. A little too discreet, can't even see you. Aw. You're a champion. She's 10, Ryunosuke 10, and she's leading you around by the nose. Inside a clock. That's a dream for when you're so 10. "10 days to read all that."
scarily believable with you. Ah. So, if nothing here. Okay, what the hell am I missing? I can't even examine anything here. Can you say something just in general? Sure. Because I'm pretty sure all the other places I'm looking at have no bearing on this actual case. Can't tell you that. Make sure to read what Iris is saying when moving to a destination. Okay, let me see. Might miss with... Huh? Oh, wait, he did say... Or she did say... It was different. Raising the friends... Did I miss something here? No, not really. So, there has to be something... So wait. What am I missing? Like, we already looked at the blood. We already showed everything to Iris. What am I missing? Because we already... So we already examined everything in the storeroom. We showed well, I guess I technically didn't show everything, I think. But nothing else to gain. Nothing in Baker Street. They say there's a park and stuff nearby, but that's just extra detail. Because otherwise, we get an option to actually, like, move somewhere. And I would seriously doubt there's something actually here. Yeah. Oh, I'll just go examine whatever else hasn't been examined. Math. No. Oh god, I just drink out of the. Oh my god, Sholmes. Charming little bottles, contents of them aren't quite so charming. The razor thin edge of genius and idiot. Excuse me. Fire the first shot at me. Don't worry, we'll find progress eventually. Eventually. Strappy Scar. Lots of things I've never seen before. It was so crammed in, he gave up and bought a new copy of the book. Oh, wait, what? The letters V and R inscribed into the wall in bullet holes. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Initials of the Queen. Hurley isn't a very good shot. How many times he had to replaster that patch of wall before he managed to make the letters? Is he a patriot or a plaster? Okay, I don't see anything else here, nothing there. Huh. Did I forget to present something? It has to come down to presentation now. The armband. Yeah, because like I didn't exactly show things in order, so it's the first thing I forgot. Here we show this to her. What else am I forgetting? already showed the manuscript and he reacted to it. He doesn't care about the representation papers anymore. I'm pretty sure he doesn't care about the blood samples. Okay, what am I missing? I already examined everything in every scene and stuff. Unless there's like a very specific angle that I overlooked that I didn't check. Wait, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? There's that one thing. Inspector, what do you make of this? Ah, what have we here then? A redemption ticket for an article deposited here, is it? It's like someone ran out of office stationery, wrote the ticket on whatever paper was to hand. Yes, this is a ticket for McGilda's overcoat. The one that little diver turned up with yesterday. Oh, actually, no, it's not that. Really? Think you know better than me, do you? No, I didn't mean to, Who knows right, Gregsy? This isn't the same ticket. Oh, of course it isn't, of course it isn't. I've never doubted you, your ladyship. So what's this all about then, if I might be so bold as to ask? This is a second ticket. A second one? Seems that Mr. McGill had, in fact, had another article in storage here at Windybanks. Is that right? I think we need to discuss this further with the inspector, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh good, because he's ever so easy to talk to. Progress, finally! So this ticket was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGilda's overcoat. Eh? You mean to tell me? Yes, there's more than just a music box disc, it seems. I should have insisted on the lads taking it back to the yard and examining it properly. Well, according to the details on this ticket, Mr. McGilda deposited another article here, with Mr. Windybank. Yes, I can see it written here. A small box, was it? The one on the left. You have any idea where it is, Regsy? Any idea at all? It's another article belonging to Mr. McGilda. It could be an important clue. Well, yes, I suppose it could be. Please, stop looking at me with those big turquoise eyes, all full of hope and expectation. It's too much pressure. I'll lose me marbles, I will. I'll go barking. There's no time for dog impressions, Inspector. Oh, that's enough sauce from you, Sunshine. There's one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the redemption deadline's already passed, hasn't it? Oh yes, of course. Articles only held for 2 months. So the small box will no longer be in here then? Oh, that's right. It's been forfeited. Which means it could be on the shelves in front of the shop where the forfeited items are offered for sale. Yes, the shelves in the front. We must search them at once. You're wasting your time. Oh, there are dozens of little boxes out there. Hundreds even. We can't possibly know which one might have been McGilda's. That information's not written in the ledger. Well, I think we should at least have a look, just in case. Oh, of course, your ladyship, of course. Very sensible of you, I'm sure. This is getting old. That's how it is. Oh my god. Ah! I nearly jumped out of my skin there. How could Windybank make set such a wicked trap? I doubt he set out to scare anyone. Is that really the time? I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit soon. Oh. Her trial is tomorrow. We must establish whether or not you will be defending her. I think we should ask her one more time. She may have changed her mind. Don't you remember, Runa? You told her she could rip up the representation papers if she didn't want you to be her lawyer. Really? Did I say that? Yes, you did.
The deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching.
In that case, we better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina again.
Yes, this is where all the items that have been forfeited by their original owners are offered for sale. That's right. They all got little price labels on them, but there's so many.
I wonder if the small box this ticket was for is still on the shelf somewhere. The box that McGill deposited here just over 2 months ago.
Even if it were, finding it promises to be very troublesome indeed. There's so many boxes. It could be any one of them.
This shows that it's said that a pawnbroker's was the safest place to store anything, more secure than a bank's vault. So perhaps a small box in McGill's contains something of great value.
Well, if that's the case, maybe he'd probably have kept it locked.
So then we need to find every box with the lock and break them all open.
Yeah.
Oh.
That sort of misconduct will get you arrested. I won't let that happen.
This takes me back. It's been some time since Susada-san last threw me. Come on, they won't be missing one box, right? I think the type is fairly obvious. I don't know.
Ah, Gina, good. You're back. Ah. The police must have finished questioning her then. Oh, how was it, Ginny? Was it awful? Eh? Oh, didn't bother me.
Thank you for the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate at Windybanks.
Oh, right. Don't you want to know how we got on? We've ever been so busy.
Oh, what's the point in asking?
Won't change what everyone's saying. That I did it. That's not.
Gina, we came to ask for your final decision.
Eh? What decision?
About tomorrow's trial. Will you let me defend you? Or not?
I must submit the paperwork now if you'd like Mr. Naruhodo to represent you.
Right, I see. She's really lost her fight all of a sudden. But I know what that feels like. The worry is just so hard to bear.
Alright then. Blimey, give it a rest with them eyes, Iris. So come on then, fill us in. Who done it?
Unfortunately, we don't know that yet.
You don't say. We don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you are innocent of this crime.
And while we haven't managed to work out who the real culprit is, there are a number of interesting facts that we managed to establish.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Well, for example, the reason you being there in the first place. I think I know now why you broke into Windybanks that night. Looks like I'm gonna take the evidence that reveals the reason and thrust it in Gina's face, or could I present it to her calmly, I suppose? Thrust it. And we found this in Mr. Windybank's storeroom. The manuscript of Iris's latest story.
Oh! Oh, right, well that's good then.
Curiously, the storeroom at Windybanks showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like, with only one exception. The box file that housed this manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina, who broke open the box containing this manuscript last night.
Eh?
You were determined to find out whether or not the Hound of the Baskervilles was really there. That's the real reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it? don't you tell us what happened? Please. Alright, yeah, this Baskerville story. It's the latest of Sholmes' adventure, right? But it ain't been printed yet. So I figured it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right?
Oh yes, at least 5,000 pounds. What?
So you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you?
No, Ginny, how could you? What? Wait, no, hang on.
First, I wasn't going to sell it. All I wanted to find out was if the manuscript, or whatever you call it, was really there or not. That's the only reason I was in the place.
For Iris' sake. Isn't that right? Ah.
We knew why you'd done it from the start, Gina. Of course we did.
But
I knew you wouldn't, I knew you wouldn't, do anything mean like that, Ginny. I just knew it. Well, when I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you said the night before. Well, it's still a lot worse than that, believe me. Bare-faced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet. I'm telling ya, that manuscript ain't at Windybanks. You'd soon see if you had a look.
if I'm honest, I wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean, that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere. Somewhere I don't know. But even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Oh, Ginny, that was so sweet of you.
Alright. I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris. It wasn't because of Iris. That's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth. That's all.
You wanted to know if Mr. Sholmes was being honest, if he really deposited the manuscript at Windybanks.
It's like I told you the night before. I never had a father. But Iris's lot ain't like mine. She's got her dad. Only she can't see him. And I reckon that's gotta be harder. That's why she writes her stories. They're about her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me, anyway. Last night when I was listening to what you were saying.
Stories? About Daddy?
You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective, so much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner? Well, that's how I see it, yeah.
You're so thoughtful and kind, Ginny. Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we?
Look, give it a rest, will ya? I hate all this chummy nonsense, you hear? I hate it. I don't trust no one, right? That's how I work. Cause if you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scarper. Scarper. I hadn't noticed until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves of that overcoat. Blood. Are some very suspicious red stains. Iris! Load the launcher! What? Why are you looking at me like that? I think it might be worth presenting some of our other findings in the area to Gina now. Those stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet.
What? Blood, Mr. Naruhodo?
You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. So, could it be blood that splattered from Windybank when you was shot last night?
Let's not beat around the bush here. This trusty friend of mine will get results much faster than anything else. Eh? Take it easy, Iris. Don't move, Ginny. I'm going to shoot.
Purple.
Oh.
Well. Hey, Natty. How you doing?
Oh my. What the?
Forget the sleeves. The whole coat is covered in blood. Oh, that was ours.
Of course. The black color of the fabric was masking the stains. That's why we haven't seen them until now. And the blood has reacted with the chemical to turn a purple color, which matches one of the samples we've collected perfectly. Yes, now let's see. Who had the purple blood? Aha! Yes, it was the brickmaster, Mr. Mason, the victim of the murder case 2 months ago.
Oh. I knew it.
What? What are you on about? The victim? What do you mean? It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means the omnibus case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed. Oi! Would someone explain what's going on? Stop telling half a story.
Truth of the omnibus case. We can now see that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGilda's overcoat.
But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant said this in his testimony. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul won't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't gonna start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand.
But if you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. These stains couldn't have arisen from McGilda trying to pull the victim to his feet.
No. If that was what really happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over the front of the coat.
The only explanation for this pattern of blood is that it splattered over McGilda's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. I tried to run from the truth for long enough, but there's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, was Magnus McGilded.
Mr. Naruhodo,
That horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. I used all that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence.
how could I have let that happen? Bruno, did you believe him though?
Nah.
Did you believe Mr. McGilly was innocent?
I believed not. Or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is a defense lawyer's greatest weapon.
A weapon?
Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson.
You mean Kazuma-sama?
Listen, Ryunosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can't know for sure what is truth and what is a lie. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have. Unwavering belief? Only when we truly believe what our clients tell us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you, unwaveringly.
What's funny, Gina? Car. Sounds like in this Empire Japan you come from, everyone must be soft. Well, come on! What the mess has got you into, believing that bog trotter? Yes, I inadvertently helped a murderer walk free. I know why he's dead now. Well, at least you learned your lesson now, eh? Believing in people's never worth it. Always stabs you in the back in the end.
Alright, Gina, have fun representing yourself in court. See ya, I'm gonna go get some tea. At least he didn't walk far. Now the question is, who or what the hell put him inside that thing and what set off the fire? So in a way, the aftermath of the case hasn't been resolved yet.
Soon as you let your guard down, you had it. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one, get hurt by no one.
That might be the bigger question for the series. Yeah, I wonder if this will be a thing that they'll go over in the second game. I wonder. I'd be kind of happy if they kind of left this unresolved for the next game, so that like a very bigger like conspiracy or whatever of sorts will come into play here. I always like with a lot of story heavy games like this, like I always want to see like what the bigger picture is. So I really hope they don't resolve that little question this game. I hope they show it later. 3 games spanning greater mystery. But there's only 2 games in this series though.
Gina, may I ask you for something?
What?
I just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representation papers for tomorrow's trial?
Didn't I say I knew one was coming? What? Wait, when did I ever say a new Greatest Attorney game was coming? I've never said that. There hasn't been anything announced regarding a new entry in the Ace Attorney series. I think.
How many times I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away. Are you really sure that's what you want? I bet that's what he wants and all now. Mr. I'm a believer lawyer over there.
2 game then? Yeah, like I said, the Greatest Attorney Chronicles is a 2-game collection of the Greatest Attorney games on the 3DS, Adventures and Resolve.
Don't forget it was me in that trial 2 months ago. I led everyone up the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me you can believe in me after that? Not likely.
You didn't misunderstand earlier? Ah.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo? A lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that's happened.
Okay, wait, I want to bad end this. I want to bad end this. I can't trust her.
But what choice do I really have here? I have to...
God damn it!
Although I can hardly believe myself that I'm making this choice in spite of everything. I just put it down to one of life's little curiosities.
This localization alone was an unexpected and unlikely thing. Next thing will probably be Ace Attorney Chronicles Part 2. No, there won't be another Ace Attorney Chronicles because this is supposed to be the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So then... Oh, no, sorry, I had your thing mixed up. Oh yeah, because Spirit of Justice, Dual Destinies... was there anything else? I don't think you would count the Professor Layton game, although that would be nice if they included the Professor Layton game. Wait, how you doing, Eska? But yeah, sorry about that. I got a little mixed up in what was being said. There are 3 main games for the 3DS, if you remember correctly. Really? Huh. 3. I only know Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice. Only 2 on the 3DS. Apollo Justice was DS. Ah. Yeah, the crossover kind of disappointed people. Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial. Eh? Are you half-baked? I don't know. You're not once admitted to committing the crime, have you? What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth. Seriously, Mr. Narrow Otto. Did you hear, all of what I said before? I'm a born liar. Fibs just tripped off my tongue. I'm a diver. Don't forget. You thought Apollo Justice was 3DS? They could just roll with it with the 3DS games. Oh yeah, they can roll it together. Like the crossover, but felt more like a Layton game than a Ace Attorney game. I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago and got you in all sorts of trouble. Don't you ever trust me now? I just don't get it. Gina, I do understand why you chose not to put your trust in others. But I assure you, there's more to this life than you yet realize. What do you mean? The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust. People who won't ever let you down. Eh? It's true that I'm just a student of law, and I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience. But I can promise you this. Whatever happens, and until my very last breath, I'm completely on your side. What? What do you expect me to say to that? Then it's decided. I will take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now after it's been penned with your name so beautifully. Who would you like? You recent lot are... I don't know what you are, I don't get you. Easterners. Gina's taken herself to the back of her cell. She never admitted it, but I hope she's feeling relieved. That turned out alright in the end, I think. Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice. Mrs. Sato? Somebody's there in the shadows. I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before. What? Blimey, you're sharp, eh? Oh. I suppose you're using one of those mystic Japanese arts. Like the art of stealth I heard so much about. That damn Japanese magic. Excuse. Oh my god. Greg said, if anyone's being stealthy, it was you, Inspector. Regsy! Oh dear me, I'm most terribly sorry, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you. How long have you been listening in to our conversation? Oh good grief, listening in? No. I just got word that there were some visitors who were refusing to leave, even though it was after hours. I assure you, your ladyship, I only just arrived this very minute, not a moment earlier. That's all it is, nothing untoward, nothing at all. After hours? Is it that late already? So then, I will humbly excuse myself now, your ladyship. Ta-ta, toodly-doo, cheerio, all the best, and bye and bye. That's a lot of farewells, and not one of them appropriate for her ladyship. Oh, but I wanted to have a chat. I'm terribly sorry, but time is pressing at the minute. Oh, I see. That's a shame. If I don't get this emergency at the Supreme Court dealt with sharpish, Lord Strong I will, well... Emergency? Lord Strongheart? Oh, nothing. Forget I said anything. Anyway, I'm off.
Alright, Gregsy, if you have to, but let's chat soon.
Delighted, charmed, can't wait. Hey, please, my pleasure.
That's a lot of pleasantries, and not one of them sounded sincere. Gregsy's so funny. He says such silly things.
Some entertainers see an inspector of the police fawning to a 10-year-old girl. But anyway, I wonder what this emergency is at the Serene Court.
I must attend to the court clerk's office now before it closes.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Mrs. Sato.
Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruhodo. I shall meet you there later.
And so our investigation came to an end. Susato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Susato-san would be leaving for Britain and making her way back to Japan.
Naruhodo-san, it's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted.
What about you, Susato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Let me check something. Never mind. Mr. Shones was shot before our eyes. Gina was arrested. And on the back of all that, on the news that her father has fallen ill, and that she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon.
Thank you for your kind words. I wonder why it is. So many thoughts rage in my head like a storm. And yet, I seem unable to find the words to express any of them.
I know exactly what you mean.
Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow.
One final task?
It's just 2 months since we arrived in London, but we managed to establish this office. It was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I would be lying if I said I felt no regret.
I'm so sorry, Susato-san.
It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I had no time to gather my thoughts.
I know we've only been here a short time, but in my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel like I've learned something.
And what would that be?
It seems to me that there are many facets to people's personalities.
Facets?
Like a jewel, the light plays off them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and motives. But we see only a small number of the total facets, and what is illuminated is only part of the whole story. What lies in the shadows? What do those facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we will never lay our eyes on, for as long as we live.
That's so true.
Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much, but I keep hoping that one day, it will all become clear. That all the facets will be illuminated, and I'll finally understand how everything fits together.
Naruhodo-san.
I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open and keep moving forward, even if the way sometimes seems dark. God, this line is so cheesy.
It's amazing to think it's just been 2 months. You've grown so much.
Sorry? I've what?
Oh no, it was nothing. Unimportant.
Wow. Do you know what time you will leave London in the morning?
Yes, I picked up my ticket earlier.
I should be leaving here at 4 a.m. I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station.
Absolutely not.
Sorry?
I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow.
Gina's trial.
Yes, I know, but Every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. You must get as much rest as possible. Even though, like me, I'm sure you find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try. You mentioned one final task a moment ago. What do you mean? Oh my, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this. What's that? Some huge bundle of documents. It's my notes, from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus. The McGilda case? It seems to me that this case of Mr. Windybanks' murder, of which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with that omnibus case, in ways that are not completely apparent. So I took the liberty... Hold on. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you. With everything else she's had to think about, Susato-san still managed to do this, and all nearly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting. It was my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina. Thank you so much, Susato-san. I'll do my best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Sorry? I didn't catch what you said there. Oh, ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself. Well, it's getting... Oh, good. Oops, hold on. Okay, I was getting caught on something, hold on. So, trial summary... Okay. I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san. I must finish packing my things up, in my room. Susato-san, I wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night. Wait! There's something I need to say. Hey, yeah! What was that? A secret technique of mine. The Susato shutdown. Shutdown? Please, I implore you. We had to voice our goodbyes. I won't be able to hold back my tears. Damn. Susato-san. They're just gonna collapse on the floor there. It truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us, and learning the truth about that nemesis of a case. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted. And yet the idea of sleep seemed impossible. But I forced myself to close my eyes. And as the cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind, eventually, my fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep. What happened while I was upside down? Susato flipped us. Yeah. Susato couldn't really take having a very heart-wrenching goodbye, especially given the serious case right now, but she has to go back to Japan since her father is gravely ill, or fallen ill. The small hours? And yeah, because Susato didn't really want to end up crying her heart out, she tried to cut things short and just flip them and just run back to her room. Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind.
Rest assured, shall put everything in place exactly as we have discussed. Thank you so much. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell, and Godspeed. My dear madam. Huh? Susato, wait. What's with the late night visit? Wait, what'd you ask him? Oh my god. Girl making plays in the background. She really is. When I woke the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last. One that I would remember for the rest of my days. Dude, it's 11 o'clock right now, and we just started the trial. Oh my god. I have a feeling I might have to... There's no way we can get through part 1 of the trial before it gets too late. There's no way. Good morning, Gina. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. So is your friend then? Sorry? You know, the one in the fancy dress. Mrs. Sarto, or however you say it, I don't know. Ah, Mrs. Sarto had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up. You alright with that, are you? Forget about me if you like. Go and see her off. She went at 4 in the morning. It's fine. It's not as though Mrs. Sarto and I won't meet again. One day. But even so... But you, Gina, you only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. No pressure. Good morning, you two. Kitty! How you feeling, Ginny? Did you manage to sleep? Meow. Iris, what are you doing here? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we'll show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy? Ah, Waggy! Great way to show your support, Kitty. Let him have a nose around. Oh, what am I gonna do? Oh my god, the evidence got destroyed! Oh, that reminds me. I bought a paper on the way here. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Runo? Ginny? Oh, well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Cats don't like to be held. Nah, always take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad. Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities. Let's not go there. Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. Depends on the cat. Your old one likes being held up. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move. Huh? The bad news was a weather report? I hope that Susie made her train to Dover and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port. Gosh, yes. Your new cat hates being held? Ah. Alright, so what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make up the time later. Well, that is good news, isn't it? I couldn't give a monkey's really. Oh, if only all good news cancel out the bad. And look, this trial has made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in pick purse plunder. See? I like that. Let them say what they want. See if I care. I care because you're covering your face.
Don't worry, Runa will show everyone that this headline is nonsense. I will. And then in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be, "Discharged diver is dauntless do-gooder." Isn't that right, Runa? Oh, yeah, let's hope so. Of course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it?
It's like she was still here.
Good luck then, Runa. I'll do what I can. All broken parishes in pick purse plunder. How awful. For Ginny, I mean.
But tomorrow's headline will be, "Discharged diver is dauntless do-gooder," right?
Yeah, something like that. If possible, I'd like to go even bigger.
Bigger? How?
Proud pickpocket protects planet post-trial, perhaps.
Protects planet. Wants to bet that she's gonna pull some strings in regards to the newspaper headline. I wouldn't put it past her. I believe she can do it.
Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow now. It's going to be so great.
What do you mean you can't find anything out of place?
There's a sensational story lower down on the front page as well. Look! Ministry Mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice.
For a 10-year-old, Ari certainly has a finger on the pulse of world news.
It's about secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently they're being intercepted by hostile nations.
Communications are being intercepted, but how would somebody be doing that?
That's the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new career, Runa?
No, of course not! I wonder, perhaps this is what Lord Strongheart was talking about yesterday.
Yes, it could be. It could explain why he has Gregsy running pillar to post at the moment.
Huh.
Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. I'll be by your side the whole time, giving you more support and encouragement.
I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest, but thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you.
Oh yeah? Iris? Yes, Ginny? Well, I was just wondering, is all, about Sholmes. Did they fix him up, right? Yes. The operation was a great success. But Hurley still hasn't come around yet.
Oh. Maybe, then he has to be playing up his coma so that he can probably wander around undetected, maybe? Oh. Oh, dude. I want to see it. I want to see it. In the trial, when everything is going to shit, there's no possible way out of it. Sholm just bursts in, just going, "Hold it," or whatever signature line he would say. I just went for "hold" as a classic, but oh man, I can't wait. You can't have, or actually, can you? You can't have a Great Ace Attorney game without somebody just bursting into the room last minute with a decisive piece of evidence, and it's like, yeah. Comes in with some case-changing evidence. Yeah, but I mean, it's like, I feel like it's like Case 5 tradition, you know? Even though it's probably predictable as hell, I'd be more surprised if it wasn't like that. You know, I wouldn't mind. As long as I get my emotions running during the build-up. They should really have done the Susanna Holmes conversation as a flashback later on. Yeah, honestly, I felt like, I kind of feel the same way. Like, they should probably have shown that, like, during the trial, near its potential end. And then Sholmes comes in and it's like, "Sholmes, what the hell? I thought you were still in a coma." Well, actually, and then flashback. And yeah, honestly, I don't know why they showed it off so early. That gets rid of the big surprise. Like, I don't know what's going through. I don't know what went through their minds that thought that it was okay to show that big reveal that early. Or at the very least, they could have shown a very dimly lit room without the details of the hospital bed and everything, and then just either have either Sholmes or Susato, so that you can like have the little mystery of who the other was talking to at least. So then it's like, wait, Sholmes is talking to someone? It's like, it might have been obvious that it was Susato before she ran off like that. But she was we're under the assumption that she was packing her things and then sleeping. So then, you know, it could have been at least a little bit of a mystery. It's like, wait, Sholmes is doing something? It's like, wait, who could he have possibly talked to? And what could they have, like, really discussed and all that stuff? Or Susato, it's like, wait, she's about to leave. Who would she, like, come into contact with for tomorrow's trial, you know? You're sitting here looking through friend sports for Scotty with Bonzi. Oh, yeah, it's all money. But yeah, I want to reset the fight every time the RNG is on. You're doing the CQ right now for FGO? But yeah, like, they really should have held off on that little private conversation with Holmes and Susato. Or, like I said before, dim the room even more and show the silhouette of one or the other and reveal the other person who's talking. I really don't understand why they couldn't at least do that to at least keep up the mystery if they're so adamant about bringing that conversation up to the player. I don't know. You like the silhouette idea better? Yeah, with the silhouette idea, because like, if you just don't show it, then it'll just come out of nowhere and feel like probably an ass pull. I mean, like, when have things been ass pulls in Ace Attorney games? But yeah, like, if you have the silhouette, like, idea, then you can just have, like, this little thing racing in the back of your mind going, what the hell is going on in the background as the trial is progressing, and all that stuff. Like, it's a little, like, if there's one thing I would like to see with a lot of, like, story-heavy games or mysteries or anything like that, always keep the player's mind racing. Like, you have the main thing, and then you have the other stuff running in the background, and it's like, huh, something's going on. But then as you keep progressing with the main stuff, you keep going like, wait, didn't we go or hear about this other thing before? It's like, wait, it's like, when is something going to happen? Or what's building up that we don't know about yet exactly? You know, like, it's always that, like, it's like that anticipation that, like, really that will help build up and carry the momentum through the current moment in the story. But now it's just like, oh, it's Susato and Holmes. Okay.
I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up. I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news.
So you need one debuff to not be quick, another debuff to not land on anyone. You need both of Melt's quick cards. Story pacing is a delicate art. Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I definitely won't be able to write anything like near this level, but yeah, I would appreciate it if they, like, if they're gonna show us something in, like, any mystery story or anything, show half of it. Always keep the reader on their toes. Otherwise, something like this kind of loses that impact. But we'll see how they play it up, and let's see if it at least makes up a little bit for it. Let's see.
Oh, right. No Susato-san and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today, to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime.
Miss Gina Lestrade, counsel for the defense. The trial is about to begin. Please make your way into the courtroom.
It's time then. Yes, let's go, Gina.
Iris?
Lead the way, Runo.
Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I had to believe in her from start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. Oh yeah, I actually don't like saying this ahead of time, but I think once it gets past, or once it reaches midnight, basically 50-ish minutes from now, I'll kind of have to hard stop the stream here so it won't go too long. Because there's something I kind of want to do after the stream. Or after the stream, off stream. So wherever we end up in the trial, we'll have to pick up from there next time. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that. Rabble, 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 rabble. And then, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready. Lord Van Zieks. My lord. Remind me, how many years ago was that you withdrew from public prosecution service? It was some 5 years ago, my lord. Yes, and then 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly, and here you are again today. Are there some circumstances of which the court should be aware of that have led to this erratic behavior? In what one might describe as your former life 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government. Really? And yet today you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess I find it more than a little fuddling, counsel. There are two types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide beneath a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large. He means Mr. McGilly, who you defended against the Reaper 2 months ago. Yes, I just about managed to work that out. Thank you. Magnus McGilded. If I know what a monster he was, I never would have defended him. You know, I can't help but find it a little funny how short. I know that Iris is 10, but how short Iris is compared to the table. we can see so much more of this side of the courtroom because like Sato like normally takes up more space with her dress and like just how much taller she is. And secondly, even more loathsome, those wily scoundrels who masquerade as allies, only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confidence tricksters from those tiny islands in the Far East, the Japanese. I really wish he stopped saying Nipponies, man. What? Did you really just say that? He means you now, Runa. I actually managed to work that out too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? That torrid look of hatred in Van Zieks' eyes. Was that directed solely at me? Or is he talking about all Japanese people? An alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Van Zieks. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all London's malefactors. Your lordship is too kind. Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Wait. Oh! The revolutionary guy! What's he doing? What's the revolutionary guy doing here? What the fuck? Why does he have a mouse? What? just an ordinary British citizen. And why is the old man from the last train? He's an actual doctor. And that's the Hatter guy, right? And that's the maid again for some reason. And what was his name again? Mr. Garadev. Why is he blushing or looking flush? Wait. Oh wait. She's gonna take down her notes in Morse code? Why does she have a I don't know what the thing's called, but a thing here for Morse code? Mr. Garadev, the maid from the other case, the old man is a doctor, the lady with the typewriter. And a totally ordinary British gentleman with a pet mouse. I'm a lieutenant in the British Army here, don't you know? Chaps like me were born ready. Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and a clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think. You know, there's one thing I kind of hope for in the next game. I hope we can actually see a case involving this girl and whoever she's working for. That would be nice. I like to see like more into like these people's like histories and stuff with how many times we see them in the jury. That'd be nice. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely everything. I'm ready for it. Oh, I don't understand. I can't have left it in there. It's not possible. But could I have? They'd sure put a crack team for the randomly selected. I assure you. Wait, was he the guy that operated on homes? Women indispensable in society. Stop. A female-centric future awaits. Stop. Good day. I'm visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Why would you pull a foreigner into the juror seat? Well, of course we know he's Russian, but just why would you take a foreign tourist into the juror stand? Oh my god. Is something wrong, Runa? Oh, not exactly. It's just I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact. Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it is quite strange. Jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know. So I've been led to believe, but something tells me I'm being duped. Very well. Now, Lord Van Zieks, the court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Windybank, proprietor... Pop Wind. Proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near-instant death. Now moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone like the accused, you might say. Oh! Beep beep. The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and the crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord. Indeed, the court accepts. Hand her to the bailiff, please. No other signs of trauma. Now I ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry. A door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there were only 2 persons present. The victim, Mr. Windybag, and the accused. If it may further interest the court to know when the accused was discovered at the scene. Oh wait, oh, that one, yeah. She had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Rabble, rabble, rabble. Well, that's that then, isn't it? Nothing more to say. Isn't that a grubby little girl a pickpocket anyway? She's one of those filthy drabs that live in the slums on East End. Oh well, it's only a matter of time before she got blood on her hands then. What the jurors waiting for? That girl's guilty as a... We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. My learned Japanese friend. It is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. So, what's going on, Bryce? Computer's weather report is reporting smoke. Wait, your computer? The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses. Good gracious! After their testimony, this girl's true nature would be exposed. Pitiful pick purse, or cold-hearted killer. So at some point, Windows Update added a weather report to the bottom of your computer? Oh, freaking Windows, dude. Here's to establishing the truth. The court will take the floor pan and firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Van Zeeks. At once, my lord. Is there pouring smoke? This isn't good. I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Runo. I think that's because it has. Coats off already. Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windybank on 16th April of this year. Oh my god. Those are exactly the 2 guys that were inside the fucking place. I know that short silhouette anywhere. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Nash Skulkin? Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is, baddie. Professional, baddie. Name's Ringo Skulkin. Occupations, same as him. Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector. Oh, that's right. We're what they call the 3 Skulkin Brothers. 3? Luigi and Mario. What are you looking at me like that for? Don't lump me in with you lot. God blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going through? Oh, it's all right above. Lost contact with them we have. We're scouting every shady corner of the capital. Then last night we came across you. The very spit of the bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? Yes, Nash, he is. The very spit of him. And we decided So we decided there and then what we was gonna do. We was gonna call you Big Bro Sulky. Come on, leave it out, you two. Sulky, Skulkin, that's before he's run out of chips. Fruit Fiend Luigi and Mario. Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson. Begging your pardon, mother, but the name's Tobias. What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you were doing in the witness stand. The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft. Thieves, are they? These three. Ringo's apple. Oh yeah. Why is the British man called Ringo? Because he's holding an apple. No, my lord, begging your pardon. Please don't lump me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment with intent to burgle. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime. By Jove, you mean to say what an extraordinary coincidence! Indeed, my lord. While attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. Yeah, he has to stand on the... Order! Order! The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in the very near future. Oh, with your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand and keep these gents on the straight and narrow. Oh, of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I'll permit them to take the stand. Mr. Skulkin. Mr. You will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question, and what exactly you saw. Happy to. Cause a Skulkin's never skulkin'. Okay. Oh, get out of it! We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours, and the gas door was ajar, see? It was like a kind of a sign, begging for us to go in it was. But once we got inside, blimey lummy, we heard a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was what. Well, the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that nice and quiet. Bullshit, you shot Mr. Sholmes. A terrible coincidence it would seem. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside, and within only the victim and the accused were found. I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now. Of course. Counsel, if you please. Counsel? Yes. What's the matter, Runa? Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know it's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. I just had to expose the testimony for the pack of lies it is. Can I just object right away? I was having to walk down Baker Street in the small hours and the gaff store was ajar. Although, technically, we didn't establish that was Mr. Sholmes's blood. But, I mean... Oh, okay, let's just press that.
Hold it!
You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story? But it was Bedlam soon as, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. They didn't have time to pull me Dukes out, Lucy lockets. Oh my god. So no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say. Ah, that's right, governor. Nothing we ain't more than violence. Peace-loving nibblers we are. Not, bludgers. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled those, put me Dukes out of me Lucy lockets. So you clearly like us to believe. Eh? Come again. As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Saints alive, they fired a gun, you say? Ah! Blimey, governor. You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway. It was. Why the bleeding Nora? Didn't you mention that before? Because you need to tell the fucking truth. You were armed with a gun. And you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Herlock Sholmes. They shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I did hear that actually. There was a rumor that he'd been rushed to a hospital. The great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. Oh! Oh, it's like some kind of long barrel kind of deal here. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Yes indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzles, as you say, Counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. Now, my learned Japanese friend. 1 second. So, there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of this revolver's 6 chambers. Yes, which tell us that only a single shot has been fired from it. Exactly. The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, wasn't it? Isn't it? Yes, it happened as soon as we walked in through Windy Bank's door. I'll make those brothers pay. Nothing else special? This is Mr. Windybank's gun. The cylinder is completely empty. Mr. Windybank always used to keep his keep this gun on hand, always used to keep this gun to hand on his shop counter. Yes, but only ever with a single bullet loaded, I understand. That's right, to keep all the pawn articles that were in his care safe. But his one bullet was fired that night, and the poor man lost his life. Was he protecting his shop, I wonder? Trying to keep the articles safe. Don't see anything else here. Yes. Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, there are telltale signs of spent powder on this gun, and a single bullet is missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime, under scrutiny in this trial.
Objection!
Well, I don't need evidence, because I was there.
Objection!
About that. However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of this rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Windy Banks that night. The blood samples. The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker shop that night?
Take that!
The evidence is in this portfolio. What on earth have you there, counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do their job, the job they're trained to do. How arrogantly... Oh my god! How arrogantly Japanese of you. Oh my god, dude. The fucking racism. Oh. Well, anyway. We analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. And you claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein. Yes, my lord. No more dallying then, counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that provides these witnesses, unloaded a firearm at the scene? No shit!
Take that!
What is that? Explain. It's a photographic print taken at Windy Bank's pawnbrokery on the day of the incident. And the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? How do my eyes not deceive me? It appears a bullet is still lodged in there. Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Windybank's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th. That's right, and while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes that this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night. Yeah. Yeah. Order! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zieks? If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? But you'll forgive me for flinging my hallowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street. Yeah! Take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us in the soup. We had a deal. You weren't gonna get into them details. Tell him, Sulky. Set the bloke straight. I have nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Van Zieks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crime. Why would you hide? Why would you tend to hide that? It would seem now that I owe my learned Japanese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zieks? As has been established at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brothers' gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windybank at all. So that's it. Oh my god, what the fuck? Bullets can pierce. No, I mean like, if the only shot that they fire, I mean, as far as we know, if the only shot that they fire was toward Mr. Sholmes, then oh, I kind of wonder how. I'll have to figure that out, but how exactly did the shot get fired in the storeroom? Or oh, well, we'll figure it out. Calendar is next to the door now, or wait, the calendar is next to the door, is it not? Yeah, it's next to the door. It shot and went through Holmes's chest or whatever into the calendar. Opposite direction for the storeroom. Yep. We didn't, Nash. We didn't. That's what I reckon. Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget, attempted murder. Quite a catalog, eh, fellas? We're in for now, bruv. Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery. Eccentric? Says who? Not me. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this in the victim's shop. Oh, that's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. What is that, Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in quite desultory fashion. Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer the court to the plan of their premises, their respective positions are here and here. Specifically? Man, what a freaking... Holmes, what a freaking blind spot, dude. Oh my god. You say these cameras produce prints every half hour. I'm afraid I failed to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera. Hey, that's a bit of Friar Tuck, eh, bro? Lady Luck loves a skulking. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin? It must have been just after 1. Right, bruv? Must have been Nash? Must have been, yeah. Just gone 1. In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment, what scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Good lord! Excuse me? Gina? You know, you could have maybe explained this to us, in the cell at prison, so you can, you know, Gina, god fucking damn. Why do none of these defendants ever tell us this shit when we're talking to them? God fucking damn it! How did Gina get the gun? That's what I like to know too. It's the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. Rabble. Oh, guilty. As the court can clearly see, the accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom. Quiet! One can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. Nicole will take this photographic print as evidence if you please, counsel. Gina. Oh yeah, this wasn't broken. It was broken afterwards. Huh. Yeah, because there were glass shards on the floor. What significance will that have? So it was broken after one. At least we know that.
I don't believe it. Ginny?
In short, the accused is the only person who could have possibly killed Mr. Windybank. Ah! I say, my lord. Oh. Wonder if I might put in a word at this point. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Took a bally bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maiwand, 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from service, sadly. Okay. You know, as he was talking, as he was trying to move that pipe, it looks like he was trying to put it up his nostril. Cost of metal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carried on to the battle after retirement, you see? The battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now leading this small squadron, 6 men, all good and true. And we'll all go down together, you mark my words. One for all, and all for one. You get to the point? Yeah, he's really talking too much. Then the ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes. That is the Gyarados Squadron's position, sir.
What? No! It's too soon to make a judgment.
Status report for the courtman, on the double.
His lordship insists on promptitude at all times. That goes for making decisions, too.
Oh, I think you'll find the truth as clear as day now. I can reach out and touch it. I would have left it in here. I just wouldn't, but in all honesty, I can't actually remember.
Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop.
I am very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky. Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leading in this matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Bro, we didn't even do shit yet.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Oh my god, his voice. Guilty. First cross-examination, jury unanimously votes guilty. Oh boy, I never would have expected. Honestly, yeah, I'm kind of sick of it at this point. Like, the first time, you know, would just be a shock and just an introduction to how shitty the juror system is here. But like, the second and third time, it's like, come on. Like, can we just get on with the rest of this trial and not have to go bug the rest of the jurors about the truth of the matter? About like, why their reasonings are freaking bogus? And it's like, oh, you're right. We should hear out the rest of the trial. It's like, no shit! That's what we're supposed to do! Like, honestly, the more I see it now, like, I'm fucking sick of it. Like, I wouldn't mind it if this was in the middle of the trial, not the very beginning. Cause like, you know, we say all of our pieces on both sides, and then they give their leaning, and then it's like, wait, let me make one last appeal. But not like, okay, here's the prosecution, guilty, 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 guilty. I'm like, come on! We didn't get to do shit yet. Like, I would have let that, like, go in the first case, or in the case 3, for that matter. Did they have to sign up for this or are they forced to be here? I don't know, just random selection by whatever, and then it's like, okay, you're up, huh? It does appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. A photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. But Ginny didn't shoot him. No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. Very well. Court grants permission. So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all the members of the jury ready? Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you've determined the defendant to be guilty. I know they want to show off the summation examination process and all that, but dude, can we at least wait until like the second or third sets of cross-examinations? This is so unnecessary. I don't even want to read this I don't even want to read it a lot anymore, dude. Clearly hasn't practiced trigger discipline. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear, Hurley's cameras were supposed to help, not hinder. I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. Vegeta didn't shoot Mr. Windybank. Which means there's more to the situation that we've yet to see. You know, can we see the other photos? Just in case? Agreed. You are the floor counsel. Proceed with the summation examination.
Hold it!
You're Mr. Natsume's landlord, Mr. Garadev, aren't you? We really must stop meeting like this. Ah, you're that lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn up for the books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then. Some extraordinary events took place at your home, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did a lot rather a lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be suggesting that, therefore you should change your leaning to... Oh my god, Ryunosuke. Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garadev house was the talk of the town after that business. Well, I just moved out and I couldn't get a bally soul to take up the tendencies. Oh. Found it hard to break the news to the Joni. Bad enough that the old girl's clapped up. Yes, that can't be denied. You do a rather lot, but not for us, but that's for dash certain. I suppose not. Of course. And there can be no suggestion for that being the reason I'm leaning toward guilty here, obviously. Obviously, but honestly, I wish you paid more attention to the trial unless the juror number 2. Wait.
Hold it!
Polishing the bench, I see. Again. A maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores?
On my way to market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pick-pursers, crossmen, the scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps. Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated. At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals. You're referring to Herlock Sholmes? That's right. I can keep abreast of his exploits by reading Rand's magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary Maid of the Captain.
I mean, he cross-dresses!
Mr. Sholmes, a maid. It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective. Minor detail, it was the two brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant. A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway. Nah. Yes, alright, I shall amend my statement. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the great detective.
Hold it!
I agree with you. The shooting of Mr. Sholmes was an unforgivable act. But the purpose of this trial is to determine who shot the pawnbroker, Mr. Windybank. I'm afraid you're splitting hairs, sir. I'm sorry. Whether it was the thieves or the pig purse, it was still gutter trash that shot the pawnbroker in the— Wow! Filth that should be cleaned up and eradicated, in my considered opinion. Thanks so much for sharing. Changing this maid's mind isn't going to be easy. Bruno, it was one of those two brothers that shot Hurley, wasn't it? Yes, without question. Well then, I'll never forgive them. Oh, Iris. Perhaps we can use this maid's statement to help us somehow, do you think? Yes, maybe, but let's listen carefully to what each juror has to say first.
Hold it!
What do you mean, look at the photograph in stereo? Oh, sorry, what? Don't you know? Maybe look at the photographic print normally. It looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously. But there's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun. All I'm not saying is that if you look at the same print in stereo, it can reveal all sorts of new information. By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? Ooh, how do you know? Let's call it a lucky guess. No one ever gets old seeing two prints merged into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary, it's captivating. It's the height of modernity. Modernity. But of course. Oh yes! I think you'll find that stereoscope is here to stay. Giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. If only I can give you a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you.
Hold it!
What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that. So sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon. A surgeon? That totally passed me by.
You didn't tell by the clothes!
Oh, of course, people conducting surgeries in this country are considered to be doctors. Oh no. Surgeons do not equal doctors? Even though me and my kind are at the forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field. So, what is it that you think you left behind? Oh, well, that's a little embarrassing to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. Some standard thing went in through the abdomen. But when I'd finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel any—
Oh dear God.
What? Did he? Surely not. Exactly, surely not, you say to yourself, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me out this whole time. Could I really have left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly? No, of course I couldn't. It's like, it's in my pocket. you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing.
That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter. Watch as Mr. Sholmes actually took it. I mean, the dude's a master at stealth. I wouldn't put it past him to sneak something during a surgery. As fucked up as that would be.
Oh, that's exactly my concern. But seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. Now I'm sure I've made everything else was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure.
I'm sure you need to be more sure.
Hold it!
Sorry, but radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you from the Far East? Stop. Yes, from the Empire of Japan. All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. Ah, but now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electric signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds connecting the entire world.
Thousands of miles of cable? On the ocean bed? Makes my head hurt just thinking about it.
You're well informed, young lady. Hehe. But cables will soon be a thing of the past. Stop.
And just when I was starting to catch up.
Radio transmission is the future. Stop. A message is carried over airways to 4 corners of globe. Stop.
You wonder if there's any of those cables are still around? In all honesty, probably. It would be a massive effort, which these kinds of companies would not spend the money for, to get rid of them unless absolutely necessary and called out.
Excitement growing. Stop. Excitement continues to build. Atmosphere electric. Stop.
Right, try not to wear out your fingers.
Era of wireless telegraphy. Stop. Driving technological revolution. Stop. And people say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What other piffle? I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys.
Excuse me.
Juror number 3. It's sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but what? Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do! Say that again! Go on! I dare you! Goodness, are you talking to me?
I think he might just be, yes.
You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you, huh? Absolutely. I mean, really, a machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions? Why on earth would you not just use why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look around, to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional.
What a great way to appease the man.
No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all.
This fool about to kill a woman.
You just don't know! Pardon. I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm honestly gonna have to demonstrate.
What sort of possibilities?
Well, take a crime scene for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, you could reveal hidden clues you never even noticed before. What? Have you got any, Runa? Any prints we could look at with a stereoscope?
Sure. What do I have again?
How about this print here? It should do the trick.
Okay, so I guess we just show the cat ones.
Take that!
That was wrong. I can't actually think of anything we could use it on. Oh, okay, so they wanted to, okay. Okay, they want to use the crime scene one then. Don't mind me. Hold on. Because I thought we were gonna try to establish like the point of like what stereoscopes can do, and then segue into the. Okay.
Hold it!
Okay, now let's show the crime scene photo.
Take that!
Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Oh, of course I can. Very well then. I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all. Well... Shit. You know, Von Zeeks, it would really help if you gave us any of the other photos in that stack of timestamps. Please?
Take that!
You know, I thought... I really thought this would be, like, an opportunity for us to go, hey, can we take a look at that other stack of photos you got there? And then continue with this and not go such a roundabout fucking way. To go, oh, we need one more photo. It's like, man, where can we possibly get another photo of the exact scene of the crime from the almost exact same angle? Please. Oh my god, dude. Please. Why couldn't they have just thought, oh, if they show this, then it's like, hey, Van Zeeks, you have like that stack of photos like the court could look at, right? Like, oh my god, this shrimp is real. Oh boy.
Hold it!
Please tell me you're not, villain Bolshevik. The Russian revolutionary. Revolutionary? Ah, I believe there's, such a rumor. It's just a rumor. As you see, I have an unfortunate appearance. I look like vicious criminal. Your words, not mine. Just want to point that out. People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat. And which glove fits? Good day, I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Right, that didn't sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having my doubts. We treated like vicious criminal all the time. It's very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathies for these brothers. People they say are criminals only because of how they look. Not just for how they look, for what they fucking did! The Skulkin brothers? Ah, maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop, but they have done nothing wrong. That's all I want to say. They shot Mr. Sholmes! The Skulkin brothers did nothing wrong that night. Alright, well, first of all, that's one not so little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris. What is it, Bruno? The jurors are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London town, aren't they? Yeah. Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? In that case, How is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary?
I wish I knew.
If I can't change the minds of more than half these 6 jurors, the trial will be over.
But we know that Ginny would never shoot anyone.
Yes, so we need to find contradictions in what these jurors are saying and pit them against each other. I must be ready to go to whatever lengths I have to convince them of Gina's innocence. And I must go through any lengths to get to bed. Because it is past that time that I mentioned. Past midnight. So unfortunately, we'll have to break up the flow here, the momentum, and we'll have to continue this next time. Because, oh boy, I knew with how long that investigative bit would take, we would not get far in this trial, and trying to go any farther until the next to be continued or trial part 2 would definitely take at least 2.5 hours, give or take, I don't know. So, we'll do this later.